Well, I'm Brandie Kajino, and I have a site called Spoon and Saucer where I encourage and tell people that real food is easier than you think. I want people to eat real food. I don't care if they cook it or they eat it out or they buy it in a box. But let's get away from the funky ingredients that personally I can't pronounce and other people can't pronounce. So I'd like them to eat fresh food. That's really what I'd like them to do. When I was a child growing up, my mother canned and cooked and preserved and made things from scratch. As I got older and talked to my friends, I found that they didn't have that same experience, and that sort of surprised me because it was very common for me to watch my mother, can at 3 o'clock in the morning because it was the only time of day that was cool enough to can. But I think we're sort of losing touch with how to prepare things and how to make things in our own kitchens. And I think it's really sad. What if all of that went away? How are we going to eat? How are we going to know how to feed ourselves? And I think that life starts at the table. We connect with each other there. We mourn losses. We have, share our celebrations. Those things are important. It's important to know how to make them. For other people, to me, there is nothing better than serving something up and people stop and take that bite and they're like, that was delicious. I mean, that just makes my heart sing, makes me really happy when people like that kind of stuff. The first bite, if it's really amazing, right, is just it's very zen-like, but I try to be just in that moment, right then, of just tasting everything that's in that dish. And as I'm eating it, then I'm thinking, okay, what's in here? What's in here? How can I take this home? I had that experience in San Francisco. I went out to a restaurant called The Slanted Door, and it's this James Beard award-winning thing, and someone had told me that every dish has 5 ingredients or less. And I thought, okay, that's art. How do you take 5 ingredients? You can't have crummy ingredients if you have a small list. They have to be, these have to be the best noodles, the best, and I'm thinking of this crab noodle dish that we had that was so, to look at it, it was so simple, and then you taste it and it's like the top of my head blew off. It was one of the most delicious things I've ever eaten. My goal would be to empower people to get in their kitchen, with themselves, to empower kids to get into the kitchen, to teach people that skill of being able to crank something out themselves. It's like, I did it. That's really great. My strength isn't photography. It isn't food styling. It's saying, hey, here's how you do this. I'm going to show you, you're going to taste it, and you're going to go home and make it for yourself. It's easy to compare yourself to somebody else, which I think is really sad because then it sort of suppresses your ability to fully express who you are and what you're about and what you want and the path that you are supposed to take, that I am supposed to take, that we all have. When you're doing what you really want to do, and you really think about it deeply, it is a lot different. It feels a lot different from what I was doing before.